What's up, nerds? Welcome to Arsenal X, NGR Radio's Xbox show. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, as always, that retro code, Edward Varnell.
Hello, everybody. It's exciting to see you.
Ed, where's the X? Where's the X?
Yes! I had to wait for my guest to do it.
And joining us, again, Jesse Douglas.
Yay!
Hey!
Yes.
I'm back.
Yes! On a more permanent basis now.
Yes.
And a little bit more energy this time.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's because we didn't spend the first, 45 minutes talking about Ninja Turtles and bad shows we used to watch when we were kids. Oh, man. I'm excited. Woo! We actually have, a thing to talk about today.
Yes!
Oh, man. Ed, what have you been playing? Anything? Anything exciting?
For Xbox, Ikaruga, and Gears of War 4, but I've been putting a lot of time into Mass Effect Andromeda, finishing up a lot of the side quests. Got a lot of my cast and my teammates up to level 6, finishing their loyalty missions and getting achievements right there. I made Jen, my boyfriend in the game. Got that loyalty. That was real easy. And then just been wrecking ship, and I'm at level 43 now with my character, with my rider. So, or Pathfinder, as they want to call it. So getting through that game, it's more side missions than the whole mission base itself, like story mode. I think it's probably about 15 missions for story mode, and then that feels like end of the game, and then everything else is just fluff.
Yeah.
So playing Dragon Quest 8 on 3DS, Uncharted 4 on PS4, and we'll be returning to Dead Rising 4 soon. Then playing some more Wii U games, getting to Paper Mario and Tokyo Mirage Session and some other games. Trying to catch up on my backlog, so I can be ready for Destiny 2 and Cuphead next month.
Nice. Jesse, what about you? Playing anything fun, interesting, bad? All of the above?
Well, I guess it depends on what you think, but yeah, I was playing, speaking of bad, I was playing, let's see, Earthlock isn't too bad, but I played that a little bit.
To work on that too.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. For an RPG, it's pretty good, because I'm picky when it comes to RPGs. Just Cause 3 I've been playing again. It's having fun screwing around in that game. It's fun to just mess around and blow things up. And then, what else? Let's see.
Rainbow Six?
Yeah. Well, actually, I haven't played any this week, but I did play Rayman Legends a little bit.
Love that game.
And trying to think. I think there was one other thing I was playing the other day.
Can we just acknowledge how good Rayman Legends is real quick?
Yeah, it's an amazing game. I love that game.
The gameplay, the music, and the artwork in that game is phenomenal.
Less than 4 weeks till the Switch release.
Yes.
Nice.
Definitely
Take it on the go.
Yeah, I might have to get that again for the Switch. That would be a game to have. I love that game. Yeah, it's just there's so much to do in that game. Seriously, there's so much.
The music levels are the best.
Yeah.
Music levels are the best.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Dude, when you get there, you could close your eyes and play the levels as you memorize the music, and as long as you're jumping to the beat of the music, oh my gosh, it just feels so good because as you progress through the stage, the music just builds and builds and builds, and just you get hyped listening to the music and then jumping. It's amazing.
Yeah, so with having kids and stuff, usually what I end up doing is I'll pick it up for a little bit and play a level or two, and then basically put it down. So I haven't gotten too far, but I've been playing it, here and there a little bit for the last couple of months.
Nice.
But
Yes.
Nice.
so
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like so much stuff to unlock in that game, and like you can play as different characters. I love that aspect of it. You know, that you can get the different characters and use them, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, definitely like it.
Nice. Nice.
Yay.
Oh,
And then
well,
I wanted to pick up from Steam. I was going to play Mystic Towers. Again, a throwback game I used to play on my PC a long, long time ago. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that game.
I heard
It's
of
like you're like a wizard, and it's kind of like one of those games like where there's different squares, and you kind of, it's like the way you move is all weird because you're moving like kind of, I don't know, it's weird, but it's really old. I can't remember when it came out, but it was one of those games that I loved, and then all of a sudden I seen that they had it available on Steam to purchase again, because I'm talking like floppy disk, like
Ooh.
DOS, game. It was an old school game, so, but I used to play that a lot when I was younger.
nice.
But
Nice.
that's pretty much it.
Well, I guess that means it's my turn. I've been playing a lot of Overwatch lately, actually, in terms of like games people would play on Xbox. Dude, Overwatch, since I played it last, they've made a lot of small tweaks that really just improve at least the heroes that I play. Like I play a lot of Lucio, and I like to play healer, and I play a lot of Mercy. So like when I was playing Lucio the other night, they like it was really it used to be really hard to tell where your healing mechanics stopped, like the range of it. And so like as you're playing Lucio, depending on if you're on like speed or heal, like when you're on heal, they put this yellow ring around Lucio to where like as long as the characters are within this ring, that's where your healing range is. And it's like a really smart improvement to say, oh, I need to go, like, maybe I missed it the last time, but like, it was just a really smart ad. And like Ed, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you froze on my screen. I just got confused.
Oh no.
No. But like I've been playing Mercy a little bit, and like they upped her defense a little bit, which really really helps because she just used to die after like 2 shots. I really like playing the healer, which is good because none of my friends like to play healer. They all like to play DPS or tank. So it really works out, except for like my friend Brian was playing Widowmaker the other night, and Widowmaker is not necessarily like the greatest character. She's very situational, but we were playing quick play because we were trying to play heroes that we were not really used to or trying to learn better. And like he was playing Widowmaker, and like he would like get these body shots on people, and I would be up front with the tanks trying to heal them, trying to keep them from like taking full on damage. And like I would end up cleaning up with eliminations, and I'd end up getting like silver in eliminations with a healer.
Wow.
I was just like, okay, this isn't right. Something's happening, but it was pretty good. It was a good night at Overwatch. But other than that, I've been playing a lot of Horizon. I'm really digging that game. I am interested to see how Microsoft combats Horizon with their own IP, because they said they're developing their own version of their own Horizon.
I mean, they already have about Rise of the Tomb Raider when it came out.
Yeah, but that's not first party. I'm saying like their in-house version. I agree with you. Tomb Raider or Rise of the Tomb Raider is a fantastic game. I might give the slight edge to Rise of the Tomb Raider, but like I'm just enjoying it. I'm enjoying trying to find the vantage points and trying to collect all the little collectibles on the map and taking out the bandit camps. I haven't even played the story in like 4 days. I've just been cleaning up all these little side quests, and the hunting lodge challenges are really good. So if you are an Xbox player and you have a PlayStation, I would totally tell you to pick up Horizon over any other PlayStation exclusive right now. Like it's really good.
I think for PlayStation owners, like for a PlayStation Game of the Year, I think Horizon is going to win it. Like I don't think there's any other game. Like I mean, Persona 5 is good, but nothing is like Horizon on PlayStation 4. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that game Horizon is like a must-own game if you are a PS4 owner, or if you're thinking of getting a PS4. That's the game that you should definitely get. That would sell the system.
Yeah,
that's definitely the position I'm in. If I ever do get one, I'm definitely going to probably get that game.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But Microsoft, I was going to just say Microsoft's in a good position, though, if they are going to make something like that. They've got, Breath of the Wild, and they've got that they can kind of take ideas from and make something, make something decent.
Yeah.
Right.
So. I do hope that whatever Microsoft decides to do, like that game controls better, because it's the same problem I have with all Sony games. And like Horizon isn't as bad as like how I feel about how bad Uncharted controls or something like that. But like after coming off Zelda and playing Horizon, it's like, man, these controls feel clunky and slow. Like I feel like Aloy is heavier than she needs to be, and she's not as agile as she needs to be. Like when you're playing Breath of the Wild, like Link is super agile and he can move, he can climb, he can glide everywhere, and like for some reason I feel like Aloy feels like she feels real heavy and real, like when you tell her to dive out of the way, it takes time for that animation to play out. And like I don't know if they could do something in a sequel to like shorten the animations or make her more responsive. Like Horizon 2 is going to be like the masterpiece for PlayStation 4 if they can just hone in and be like, okay, well, let's take this idea from Breath of the Wild. Let's I know everybody says when they play Horizon Ratchet Zelda they miss the climbing mechanic, which I do. But I miss the gliding mechanic. When I climb a high place and I just want to get down somewhere real fast, I miss that Breath of the Wild gliding mechanic. And it's just like, it's an underrated feature that Zelda has that, like, if they can do something like that, implement it into the game, and, maybe not climb everything, but have more places to climb or have places that make sense to climb, because I'm still finding myself not being able to climb, like, 3-foot walls, like
yeah, like make it easier to see where you could start your climbing ability, right. your climb at, because that's one problem in Horizon is that color is just boring as ever.
Yeah, like I was trying to get to this vantage point yesterday, 2 days ago, I don't remember, like maybe it was like 1 or 2 days ago, and it was dark, like the game had set into nighttime, and I was in this dark building, and I was like, where do I go? It says the vantage point is around here, and I tried to climb the walls. I tried to find like little things that I could climb on. I tried a different building to see if I had to like cross the building through the long neck or something. I couldn't find it, and like I saved it and I turned it back on, and it was daytime. Like I had moved the clock ahead, and it was like, oh, well, there's white stripes here to where I could have climbed, but I couldn't see because it was dark. And like little things like that. Like if they can just tweak little things like that, like Horizon 2 is going to be a tough game to beat that year it comes out, unless Nintendo can pump out another Breath of the Wild to come out 3 days afterwards. But Horizon's really good. Hellblade I played about the first half hour of that game. That game is interesting. It is a fantastic game to look at. I love Ninja Theory to death. I think this game is not for everybody, but it is a game that people need to take notice and at least watch either a Let's Play of it, or they need to see this game through, and they need to hear the game. Like the audio for this game is so tremendously important to the experience that like if you're watching a Let's Play or something, make sure it's a clean Let's Play. Make sure nobody's talking during the Let's Play. Like, just a clean playthrough of this game, because the audio in this game is, I've never heard anything like it. And like, I'm not like real big on audio in games. Like, yeah, I like music that sets the tone, and I like listening to characters have conversations and stuff, but like, you hear the voices in her head. You hear like enemies rush up on you that aren't there. You hear things that are just like, wow. Like, it literally makes you say wow. And like I said, I'm only a half hour into it. We're gonna try to have Jesse White on NGR Radio at some point to talk about it, or Nerds Gone Platinum at some point. But man, this game, I don't know if I'm gonna like it like as a game, but just as a visual and audio from that perspective, it's like, man, this game it's something.
Well, it brings up mental disorder.
Yeah.
And people are some people who are playing it are like about to use this game as a topic for, you know, how do you handle, like, or how do you create a game of that kind of that, you know, of that kind of stature and be able to pull it off well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I gotta give it to Ninja Theory for it. I haven't played it yet, and I'm waiting to get it when I get back from vacation so I can play it, and just see see what mental state is this girl in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I'm just like, if this gives me eternal what was the name for GameCube? Eternal. If this game give me Eternal Darkness vibes, I'm going to see it in a whole different light.
It didn't really give me Eternal Dark, like at least the first half hour I played I wasn't even thinking of Eternal Darkness at all. Like, it's more, it's like a darker version of like the visual style is more like a darker version of Heavenly Sword.
Yes.
You just have to sit down and play it or watch it or something, because it's a game that I've never really experienced before, and like, I don't play a lot of the games that are on Steam only. Like, I don't have like I just don't go to Steam. I prefer console gaming, but like, I mean, I'm sure there's games there that deal with this stuff, but a game at this magnitude, at this level of quality, like, I don't know if it's ever really been done to this high quality before. And it tells a story that's it hits home for a lot of people, even if you yourself don't have like a mental disability. Mm-hmm. Like, someone you know probably does, or has gone through mental illness at some point. And like, watching that unfold just within the first half hour of this game was like super relatable and super impactful.
Well, it feels like psychological problems, when that kind of topic and theme comes up, it's used for survival horror.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's used as a, you know, this person is going crazy. Did he or didn't he? Or did she or didn't she? You know, like, it plays on the player's mind in order to tell its story. Where Hellblade takes it and kind of focus on it and just be like, no, this is what happens when it's done in a serious tone, and you might want to be aware of why it plays this role in this narrative. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't use it for survival horror. They use it as the narrative for a game that needs to be told. So people who look at it could feel, like you said, that they could see something that's relatable, because it might be someone in somebody's family who is experiencing the same thing that she's experiencing, but not doing the gameplay kind of portions of it. You know?
Yeah. But anyways, I feel bad because like Xbox players don't get to experience this game yet, and I don't know if it's coming to Xbox at all. But
no.
But I mean, if you have a PC, like just just check it out. Like it's going to be a game that people talk about for a while. Not necessarily because it's an amazing game, because I hear that like the combat and stuff is a little samey, but like the impact that this game is going to have in terms of storytelling is we're going to be talking about it the same way people talk about, like The Last of Us or something like that. So in terms of like storytelling, so
well, could for Xbox could it be Alan Wake? In a sense, in a way, or
I mean, I think this is way more impactful than Alan Wake was. Like, it's just, it's the story they're telling, and like I haven't gotten far enough to see if like it pays off, but like the story they're trying to tell is enough of an impact for me to want to keep going and say they're doing something. I want to see this through. Ninja Theory's always been good at telling a story.
Yes,
their stories are always really, really good and impactful, and like even in DMC, like that story was super impactful. Like it told the story of two brothers who didn't know each other, and they both wanted the same things but went about it a different way, and like that's how the sequel, if we ever get one, is going to be set up. Like they want the same thing but they're going about it a different way, and they have a conflict, and that's what's going to be interesting. I hope Ninja Theory gets to do that game because, DMC, Ed, we talk about that game all the time. But,
yes.
Yeah, I love that game. So fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
But other than that, I did play a little bit of Halo. There was a new update to Halo 5. Game's still real good. I always just forget that it's there. I always because like I just forget. I was super into Halo, like up through 4. Like I was really into Halo up through 4, and like Halo 5 story had its issues, but it was super fun to play. But then Destiny took over, Overwatch took over, Titanfall 2 to an extent took over. Like these multiplayer games that are just doing something different and cool, where like Halo's still like stuck. Like Halo's in a rut, and I know we've talked about this, and we might end up talking about it again today, like an IP that needs a refresh. Like it needs to change. It needs to change. And like, yeah, I want to see it stay a first-person shooter, and like I like the multiplayer enough, but they need to switch it up. Like I think moving away from the loadout and perk system from Halo 4 was a step backward. Like I wanted to play like Halo 5, but have the system of Halo 4. Like I understand they wanted to go back to the Halo 2, 3 rush to the power weapon arena style game, and like maybe I'm just growing out of Halo. Maybe Halo's just not the game for me anymore. And Halo 5's still popular. Like it's even more popular now with Game Pass, because that's the game they've let off Game Pass, which was that and Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Like I don't know. I feel like the guns need to change. You need to be able to customize your guns. You need to be able to add different perks to your weapons and your armor. Like that's the kind of game I want. I don't want them to Call of Duty-fy it, because like I don't care for Call of Duty either. But there's just I don't know what it is, but I want them to change something so that multiplayer is impactful again for me, because like I love Halo. I love the way it feels. It's just like I'm tired of starting every match with a auto rifle and a pistol and like trying to find the gun that I want to use, and then when I die, which is very frequent, like because I suck, and having to go back and find the gun I want to use and maybe get 2 or 3 kills before I die again, and maybe that's why people like Halo 5, and maybe they've just grown out of it.
Well, I think when you're about to do something like that, you have to kind of play, and this may just be me, I think you kind of need to play a Nintendo game, and then you need to, of course, play a PC and a Sony game, but you kind of need to play a Nintendo game to help you think outside the box. And
they don't have to even look. I mean, I get what you're saying. Like I think taking ideas from other games would help. Like Nintendo clearly did that with Breath of the Wild. They took a look at some of the popular open world games and said, how can we make this work in a Zelda fashion? But like, I think you don't have to leave the Xbox platform to do that. You see what Destiny's doing. You see, like, you need to look at the other impactful shooters and see what they're doing. Like Titanfall 2, for example. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, Titanfall 2 would be like the literal blueprint that everybody, definitely for me, would go. Mm-hmm. But the thing, because you can't go to Call of Duty, you can't go to Battlefield 1 because they're all doing the same thing. So 343 studios wouldn't get nothing out of those games. You know, if you're going to play a first person shooter, what are you going to try to get? Are you going to try to get gameplay ideas? Are you going to try to get story ideas? Are you going to try to get mechanics that you could refine that would fit the Halo world? You know, are you going to look at different art styles? Like, what are you going to do that you could put in Halo to make it feel like it's a rebirth where it feels fresh? Because at this point in time with Halo, you really can't do nothing with it.
Well, and I think they don't actually have to do too much. This might be blasphemy, but I would actually love to see like the people who worked on the Crysis games join the team. Because I actually liked the Crysis games for a while there. When I stopped playing Halo, I kind of went over that, and Crysis 3 was an amazing game. And I think what could help too to like kind of fresh it up a little bit is they've got so many cool characters in Halo. Why not have like the different factions of characters and be able to like pick through the different characters and kind of, you know, make your character more unique and, you know, and have special, you know, certain things that they can work on. And like you were saying, Corey, like the guns and stuff, they just need to make them a little bit more exciting because they are kind of boring. I mean, it's
I think it was because of the backlash of 5 and the disappointing sales of Halo Wars 2. Yeah. That might be a reason. Like, they probably are looking at different things. I mean, I agree with you 100%. I think they need to move probably in that direction. But I think because of what they receive from the other games, that their first priority is we need to return to Master Chief, and then we'll figure out everything else after that.
Well, and that's fine for like the story mode, but I mean, like, you know, like let's face it. I mean, everyone usually plays the story mode for the Halo games. It's very important, but at the same time, I think the thing that's kind of lacking is the multiplayer too. I mean, if they could just change it up a little bit and. Like we were talking about Titanfall 2, you've got like, all the different kinds of like unique things for each class and, have something similar to that even just where, make it more like Overwatch where you can like you have your squad of people and you want to have so many of this type of person and like so many of that type of person and work together. I think that's the thing is everyone's kind of craving games where you work together as a team more now than it was in the past. Before it used to just be like Call of Duty, go do whatever I want to do and who cares about everyone else.
What it is like that modern warfare like generation has grown up, right? They've grown up out of that, hey, I'm super competitive, to like, hey, I've grown up with this team of friends and now I want to work together with my team instead of seeing how important my KD ratio is. Like, I've seen a lot of people jump from this generation from Destiny to Overwatch. Like, I've seen that jump, and it's because like Destiny, even though you have your 3 different classes and you have your 3 different subclasses per class, like that changes it up a little bit. That changes it up a little bit from Halo. I played a Titan in Destiny, and like that plays the most like a Spartan from Halo. Like, it's fast, it's tanky, it's strong, it's kind of slow, but it's strong and does a lot of damage. And even moving between the 3 subclasses, like Sunbreaker gave you that ranged special attack, you know, and Striker gave you that up close powerful attack, and you know, Defender gave you that bubble, but also gave you sticky grenades, and like it really changes up the gameplay, and like everybody playing the same hero, the same class, the same type of character, like, you know, even if they just added like 3 or 4 different subclasses style things to Halo, would really switch it up. You know, maybe only this class gets access to a sniper, maybe this class gets you know, gets like a submachine gun or an auto rifle, but they also get sticky grenades. Maybe this person takes a lot of damage but is able to, like, you know, deal more damage, you know, like maybe these little changes, but still make it still feel like Halo. Like, I think maybe that would go a long way, you know, because Halo's a great franchise. It is a great franchise, you know, one of my favorite franchises of all time. Like, you know, I would put Halo up there, right up there with you know, Zelda and Mario and you know, maybe even Kingdom Hearts at some point. But like, I would put Halo up there, you know. I love Halo. But, you know, it's hard to like a game that you've been playing with very incremental upgrades since 2001, you know. It's hard. Yeah. You know, it's 2017. Like, they've made some good changes, you know, like the maneuverability in Halo 5 is awesome. You feel fast, the dashes feel good, climbing the walls when you're just miss a jump and you hit that B button and you climb the wall feels great. Sprinting feels really good. Like, adding that sprint function to Halo 4 and making it feel better in Halo 5 was like, it was like a godsend to that game, because I was just like, oh, thank God, you know, we can sprint. I'm a super soldier and I'm still walking.
See, it's good that you mentioned Crytek, Jesse, because I think if Microsoft brought Crytek to help 343 Studios make a Halo game exclusively for Xbox One X for it to run, I think they could do all that crazy. I think they could do what you guys wanted to do, because Crytek is good with their engine. Yeah. I think it to show the power off of 1X. Shoot, something like Crysis running on OX without no problem, that would not only destroy PlayStation 4 Pro, but it would actually show them that, hey, this is the direction that we're going with the Halo, and you only could get this experience exclusively on Microsoft platforms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I loved Crysis 3. It was such a good game. Like, I mean, it was just worked so perfectly. Yeah. To kind of fill that gap at the time, because I mean, I still love Halo. I did the little bit I played of Halo 5. I did enjoy it a lot, but like, you know, like we're talking about, there's just kind of something missing that it just needs that little bit more of a push.
Yeah. Plus with all of Microsoft games moving forward are going to be on PC, and you see success of these smaller games like Battlegrounds and you know, H1Z1, like all these kind of free for all, like these smaller people can get like these smaller experiences on the cheap, like you know, there's so many other things that people are being drawn to in different directions, and like Halo's just kind of sitting there, and it you know, it's Microsoft flagship franchise. It's not like they're just gonna sit on it, you know. It's they built a studio to make Halo. Like, that was unheard of at the time. That was so unheard of at the time. Yeah. So I don't know.
And it's almost it feels like a kind of a reflection of the kind of that little bit of issue that Microsoft has, that being too cautious, you know. Like, they're afraid of upsetting everyone. But I think in this situation, you know, I think that if they made some changes, it would end up doing them better.
Well, I mean, they could make the changes, but they gotta let us play those changes. They gotta give us a demo. They gotta market it better, so we can understand what the vision they have for Halo 6 or whatever Halo game, because just dropping it. Oh, go ahead, Corey.
Oh, I was going to say, I would like to see them drop a demo similar to the Destiny beta. You know, give us one or two, like, give us a level to play through, give us a couple multiplayer maps, let us see how the loadouts change. Like, I thought the Destiny 2 beta was terrible in terms of what Destiny is, but that sort of demo would be perfect for a game like Halo.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because, like, dude, I'm sorry, the Destiny 2 beta was awful. Like, in terms of trying to draw new people in and tell people what this game is, and, like, you know, that and I know it was just a test server loads and stuff, and tons of people are going to be picking it up, but me and my friend Brian were talking about it the other day. We were just like, what was the point of releasing so little of a game that is supposedly going to take you, like, you know, Ed, Ray, and I were talking about a little bit earlier today, like, that game, if that's going to have, like, a 50 to 60 hour story quest line, like, you know, if that's, like, you give us one level and some multiplayer maps.
If your whole game is represented by that one level, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even get a side mission to show how they're going to, you know, how they're bringing some improvements to the game.
Yeah, I almost wish they would have done what the Destiny 1 beta was, because, like, they let us explore Earth. Like, even though, like, you know, vanilla Destiny was empty and kind of bad, like, they gave us a whole planet to explore. They gave us these little, like, nuggets to go after. They gave us these things, and, like, yeah, I understand you're trying to tell an impactful story, but, like, give us the mission afterwards. Let us get into that open space. Let us, like, move around. But I mean, we've talked so much about Destiny, it makes my head hurt. Like, I was talking to people the other day, I'm like, I am not excited for Destiny 2 at all, and it comes out in 3 weeks. Like, and like, I'm a huge Destiny fan, but I'm not excited right now. Like, there's too many other things to play. I'm doing too much other stuff. Like, that week before, Ed's coming up, and, like, we're gonna hang out and do some POW blocks and stuff. Like, there's so many things going on that I should be excited for Destiny, and I'm not. Like, I'm more excited for Mario Rabbids and Fire Emblem Warriors, which Fire Emblem Warriors doesn't even have a release date yet, and I'm more excited for those games than I am for Destiny. And, like,
and they've been showing new character art for Fire Warriors.
Oh, I know. That's what's getting me excited. It's like, oh my gosh, Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem might be my new favorite Nintendo franchise besides Zelda. Like, Fire Emblem is amazing. But back to, like, Halo and Destiny, I guess. I don't even remember what we were talking about. Oh, Destiny 2, like, part of that scares me because, like, I spent so many hours with Destiny 1 that, like, the thought of starting over in a game like that and putting that many more hours into it just scares me. Like, it's to the point where I'm like, I don't even know if I want to get it, so I can just save myself the hurt and the trying to keep up with everybody.
The thing with Destiny 2 is that it cannot feel like a rehash or a 0.5 of Destiny 1.
No, but what Destiny 2 felt like to me, playing as a Titan, it felt like old Halo. It moved slow. Your weapon placement was very deliberate. The grenades were very deliberate. The special abilities felt a lot like the armor abilities that they added in Halo 3 and Reach, more Reach. Like, I feel like Bungie is going back to Halo without saying, hey, we're going back to Halo. They moved all the multiplayer stuff to 4v4, very Halo. You know, they made everything slower, like old Halo. Like, Destiny 2 feels like Halo.
That 30
feel like it.
That 30 frames per second is killing. Is going to kill it.
I don't think it's going to kill it.
I mean, it's going to kill it because
the people that want 60 frames a second are going to be the hardcore streamers, and they're going to be getting it on PC.
and they're going to get it on PC, but it's just like for a lot of first-person shooters of now, it's moving fast. There's some quickness to it. So if Bungie is using still the old Halo kind of format, and it's giving you that feel, that's going to be a problem, because it's going to be like, well, you guys really didn't make a sequel. You just pretty much reskinned Halo and made it and just made it to Destiny 2, and it's slower because I don't know if you guys want a better frame rate or consistency or whatever, but it's going to get to a point where Destiny 2 is going to feel dated compared to everything else, because Halo feels dated compared to everything else.
Yeah, I don't worry about Destiny as much as I do Halo, because the multiplayer is more about strikes and raids and cooperative stuff. I'd be a little bit more worried if they were developing this game specifically for like, and don't get me wrong, the PvP modes in Destiny are big draws to it. Like Trials of Osiris and Iron Banner are big draws to for Destiny fans. Like, I love Iron Banner. Iron Banner is my favorite multiplayer mode in that game. But at the same time, like, it's Destiny is more about the cooperative stuff, where Halo, finally tying it back into Halo's more about the competitive stuff, and people are looking for more strategy to add than just, hey, there's 4 of us, let's go shoot guys. Like, I don't know. I love Halo. I want to just see how they're making this evolve, because we didn't see Halo 6 at all at E3. Like, that was the biggest surprise of E3 for me, was no Halo whatsoever.
Well, why were you surprised when they announced it, saying that Halo 6 was going to be
I know, but I thought they were going to have like a little teaser. I thought maybe like...
If a company is telling you it's not going to be at our showcase at all...
You know what? David Jaffe said one year that he wasn't working on Twisted Metal, and 3 weeks later we see him pull into the E3 stage in a ice cream truck with a fire clown on its face.
Well, David Jaffe got like issues,
so I don't want to hear that.
The Destiny 2, what it actually reminded me of is ODST.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
Is Halo ODST, which I wouldn't mind another one of those. I actually enjoyed that game a lot. Being able to play multiplayer,
Maybe that's the Halo game we get next year. And like, we get ODST or something, like a smaller game that has the Halo 6 beta, a real beta for holiday. Because, like, that was my thing. I thought maybe to sell Crackdown 3, they're going to be like, hey, remember when Crackdown 1 came out and you got the Halo 3 beta? Like, here's Crackdown 3, and for Christmas, you're going to get the Halo 6 multiplayer beta, and it's out next Christmas. Like, that's what I thought they were going to do. And Gamescom's coming up, next weekend?
Yeah.
I mean, we have time. Maybe they'll have some, but, like, I still want Shadow of the Tomb Raider to be announced next week. If they don't announce Shadow of the Tomb Raider next week, I'm quitting the show forever. So,
because if you quit, then me and Jesse just gonna carry it on, and it'll just be an audio podcast.
I mean, we'll be fine. Google Hangouts exists. I'm just kidding. A couple weeks ago, I was really frustrated with a lot of things, but like, I'm not quitting any shows. I would never do that. I would never do that. Even if people don't like me on the internet, they're getting the show. I don't care.
That's more reason to not quit it, right?
I know.
But I think
my co-host on 2 shows is not white. I told you that story, right, Ed?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was. I hate people.
Yeah,
so
was it about racism or something?
Yeah, I was in like a lot of the bigger Facebook groups I'm in do submission Sundays, and we do that in the NGR Facebook groups too, where like people can submit their content or whatever or other people's content to like, hey, this is cool, you should check this out. Like, we allow one post from people during the week, and then one and everybody can post on Sundays their stuff. And like, I posted something in one of the Facebook groups, and like, I was like trying to be real like fun about it. Like, Nerds Gone Rogue, we have a bunch of shows you should check out. Like, we have an Xbox show if you're into Xbox, PlayStation, whatever. And the first like 5 comments, including the host of one of the shows that's of the Facebook group, I'm not going to name any names because a lot of people are fans of those shows, and that's fine, were like calling me a racist because NGR looks like the N-word. And like, ever since then, people are like sending me like direct messages and like tweeting at me and Facebook messages of like KKK gifs and like white supremacy stuff. I'm like, we have 3 black guys on staff. Like, I hate the internet so much. I wish there was a way to do this without involving the internet, because then everything would just be great.
You're always gonna have those trolls.
I know.
Just going around looking for things to start.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Speaking of trolls, like we did, Ed, when we did the 2DS impressions thing, like when you got your hands on it before I got it, someone commented on the YouTube video and said, "Yes, the new 2DS is worth it. Please delete your video and every other video before this one." I'm like, what? We're just talking about the 2DS and if it's worth it.
I know. Why do you need to delete everything? Like,
I hate people on the internet, man. Like, when you've been doing this for so long, like, you learn to ignore most of it, but there's just like there's just that 1% that just gets under your skin, and you're just like, "Urgh."
You know what? It doesn't even get under your skin. You just kind of miss having some cornflakes or Cocoa Puffs in your bowl of cereal, and just looking at the screen confused, just like, you really took the time out of your life to save that, scoop up and eat to enjoy your day and your cereal, and then go back to your basic life. Because it's just like, you told me to delete my videos, and yet you're not doing nothing to inform me why I needed to delete it. because I was positive about a Nintendo product that you agree with. So deleting it serves what purpose again? Another scoop of Cocoa Puffs? It's just like, really?
It's just,
feel like go start your own podcast. Go start your own podcast and tell people about.
You know what? I don't really care what really people say about me. Like, I just like.
Yeah.
I've been made fun of my whole life. Like, I grew up with like 1 or 2 friends, and like everybody else was like, I don't know. I never had a lot of friends, and people always made fun of me because I was too fat or too tall or too goofy or into art or into sports. Like, I don't care that people make fun of me. I don't care. Like, I've grown accustomed to it, right? But it's just like, our podcast is clearly called Nerds Gone Rogue, and it's shortened to NGR. And you're going to call me a racist because it has 3 similar letters as a word that shouldn't be used towards black people?
And the confusing thing is, Nigeria has NGR.
I know. Somebody commented on that on the Fathers of the Grind Facebook group. They're like, so technically your podcast is about a country in Africa. I'm like, sure. Yeah, that's funny. I love those guys. If you guys aren't listening to Fathers of the Grind, you should go listen to it. Matt and I were on an episode like 2 months ago. It was really fun.
I can't be on the episode. I don't got no kids.
Well, I don't have any kids. I was on. Me and Matt are the kids.
Boy, that is true.
Anyways, let's get this back into Xbox. Ed, is there any news to talk about this week?
let's see what happened was there isn't no news. I'm sorry, everybody. Microsoft and other companies are not just releasing anything interesting to talk about.
Whoa, but Ed, you didn't talk about this new sweet trailer for new controller colors.
I'm sorry, everybody. We don't have no news from Microsoft today. If you want a color controller, I guess spend $100 to make the same thing, and get a custom made.
This Ubisoft does have some news though. They opened a new studio with the former head of DICE managing the studio, so that's interesting.
Yeah. Rainbow Six Siege's next update, Operation Blood Orchard, is releasing later this month, so you guys can also check that out. August 20th. There'll be a new map and 3 new operators.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Battlefront 2 teases some space battles, so that's cool. I'm actually kind of excited for Battlefront. I like that first game a lot. I want to play it through the story. I know, Ed.
Yeah.
I know what you're gonna say. You can save it. I'll just insert Ed audio clip here.
I mean, I have really no opinion about it or anything. It's a Star Wars game, arena battle. It's MAG, but with the Star Wars license, pretty much.
Yeah,
Ed wants those pod racing, right?
Gosh,
if we
got Star Wars Pod Racer 2 or 3 or whatever number it is, I'd be like,
that's what I want.
I'd be all over it, man. And they did actually put the work in and made it like super realistic, like Forza, and like let you customize your pod racer with like stickers or paint it or something, and like when it really went into it.
Well, I mean, you got kind of a look at what it would look like just doing like the speeder bikes and stuff in the last Star Wars game. I mean, that was pretty cool. I liked it. Like just the graphics, even with you flying really fast through all the trees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even if they did something like that and made it like all like stuff going on around you and stuff, it would be pretty cool. Make it all cinematic, while you're driving around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition is coming out also. So you guys want that Pip-Boy?
What is it? 3 years later, it's coming out.
It's Bethesda. They.
Yeah, no, they kind of do whatever they want.
And For Honor, I think, is like under $30, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's on sale for $29.99. It was free last weekend.
Well, I know
play.
They got a new class, so they're showing video of that new class. Like I think it's like Barbarian or something
Gladiator.
like that. Or Gladiator.
Looks cool, but I don't know. My friend Brian was super into that game for a while, and I was just like,
It reminds me of that Jackie Chan game that came out for PlayStation 2, or was it PlayStation 3, where you had to use the analog stick to do the movements.
What?
Huh. Yeah, I've never even heard of that. I didn't know that existed.
You haven't?
Ed, I think you're making that up.
No.
You thinking of Shaq Fu or?
No.
Yes! That is the third time that game's been brought up today. Yes!
Jesse, you are the second person who mentioned Shaq Fu today.
It's the third time I've heard it
I'm waiting
today.
for my copy to come for Switch. So.
I heard it at work today. Somebody brought up Shaq Fu because they were like, hey, I got an email from whoever the NBA Playgrounds developer is and said that they're going to be sending out codes for Shaq Fu and later this year. It's free if you bought it on Switch. I was like, yes. So that's the third time I've talked about Shaq Fu today. I'm so excited. You have no idea how excited I am for Shaq Fu. Ed thinks I'm dumb, but I don't care.
No, I don't think you're dumb. And you never have bad taste. I just thought Shaq Fu was a terrible game.
You're more of the Wu-Tang game, right?
No.
No, that's Matt. That is Matt. That is so Matt.
Is that before Thrill Kill came out?
Yeah, I think so. But it's got to be better than the Aerosmith game, though.
Oh my goodness. Where you're hitting enemies with CDs. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know. Oh man. Jeez. Yeah. Anyways, so something I wanted to talk about, and this is something that kind of surprised me when I heard it earlier. It's not really news, but Telltale went on record. I forget who said it or what show it was on, but they said that Tales from the Borderlands was seen as a failure and one of the only failures the studio's ever had. Which was surprising because I thought maybe that would have been one of their better ones because Borderlands is so popular. So let me see. Let me see where this is. This is on IGN. Telltale's Tales from the Borderlands did an excellent job repurposing Gearbox's world and characters in an entirely new context. It turns out the developers behind the narrative adventure hoped and still hope that Gearbox might in return do the same for the characters they created.
Okay.
What?
Corey, before you go on, I want to take back the Jackie Chan. It was Jet Li Rise to Honor for PlayStation 2, where you use the right analog stick.
Still doesn't ring a bell. Yeah,
And an excellent oral history of the series in the Campo Santo Quarterly, various members of the team behind the spinoff cover the fact that main characters Reese and Fiona were designed to be reused in the main shooter series. The hope was, with Fiona and Reese, we wanted to essentially hand back to Gearbox fully fleshed out heroic characters they then could use in Borderlands 3 and beyond. Fiona's voice actress Laura Bailey seems to have been one of the few who didn't know this was the plan. I had no idea. I would have been more nervous and had I known it could lead to potential future games as well. And then it goes on to say, sadly, going by the developer's word in the article, a second series seems unlikely. Despite critical success, writer Nick Herman explains the sales weren't great by the end of its run and internally was perceived as a failure. I really hope the characters show up in some way in Borderlands 3, he says. Interesting. I thought the popularity of Borderlands and Telltale just coming off of Walking Dead and getting all kinds of praise for that and Wolf Among Us, that Tales from the Borderlands would have done well.
I think some people probably had their fill of Borderlands after Borderlands 2, because at that time you were getting the pre-sequel, and then just out of the blue they just got up with Telltale to make an adventure game. And Borderlands is not known to be a game where you have to focus on the narrative. It's pretty much shoot and comedy.
Yeah. I don't play Telltale games. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I just can't play Telltale's games. I have Wolf Among Us, and I played the first episode of Wolf Among Us, and I enjoyed it. But and I downloaded Batman. I have downloaded Batman. It is sitting on my PlayStation 4 dashboard right now. I just can't get myself to just play those games.
Can I tell you, Corey? If you finish Batman, it's a automatic. It'll be your first platinum.
I know, but I want Horizon to be my first platinum. With all the issues I have with that game, I love it. But anyways, yeah. Like Telltale games is just like, I just fix it, fix it. Like you have all these deals with all these companies now, and like you're getting Disney money now to do Guardians of the Galaxy. You're getting Warner Brothers money to do Batman. Like, fix it. Fix your engine. Like I know like building a game engine is hard, but it's not hard for people who do it for a living. Like it's I'm sorry. It's just like fix it. Ugh. This really bugs me, man. Like Tales from the Borderlands on PS3 was launched with Xbox prompts. Like
Well, I think with those games, with the adventure games from Telltale, it's just that your main goal is kind of to focus on the story and make your choices, and have your choices be able to tell what the story is about.
yeah.
With some gameplay added on to it, but mostly it's about the story, and it's about your choices, how it changes the story and affects it.
Yeah, I get the appeal. You know, I'm not opposed to playing them. It's just every time, like, somebody's always saying, like, I enjoyed it, but it was broken. I enjoyed it, but, like, characters were glitching through the stuff. And, like, the Batman, like, somebody said, like, the action was so fast that the game would just freeze in the middle of this big action sequence to the point where, like, it was like watching a slideshow. And, like, I don't know. I just feel like games that don't require like that much technology to power the game, I guess, like because all the story stuff is being done through math on the back end, like they're not technical achievements. They're not a Horizon, they're not a Zelda, they're not, you know, like they're not these big, huge open games that require so much testing and so much, you know, use of the space and so much testing. Like, these are story-driven games that are light on assets, that are light on, you know, actually playing the game. You know, you're walking around some environments and making some choices. Like, that's it, you know, and it's like, just take like a year and hire a team to build you a new engine to run these types of games and go from there.
Well, I think a lot of people just feel like they're burnt out from Telltale just automatically. There's just too many of the same design choices that they make. And yeah, you know, hopefully they fix their engine. Maybe they need a year and a half off. Like, maybe once the last Walking Dead comes out, that's it. Just don't bring no more adventure games. Like, build up to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think it's just like a certain thing, that just a type of game that only reaches a certain type of group of people. And even if you like, you know, that thing that they're using, that product they're using to make a game out of it, it's not necessarily gonna be, you know, an interest for people who are, you know, it's kind of like, I would compare it to like the Outbreak files for Resident Evil. Like, those didn't do very well, but it was Resident Evil, and Resident Evil is popular, but it was just, you know, so much of a change that it didn't, even the people who liked Resident Evil didn't really get into it as much. But so, I mean, I liked the Outbreak files, but they were just something completely different, and it just didn't catch on to the big, you know, Resident Evil fans.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I just, I don't know. Maybe I guess, like, people looked at Tales from the Borderlands and were just like, this isn't a shooter, so I'm not gonna play it. Like,
yeah,
because, like, you know, as cool as it was that they actually took a game with basically no story and made a story out of it, you know, because from everything I've heard, like, this game is probably the best thing they've done, you know, outside of maybe Walking Dead Season 1. Like, they took a world with no story and built a story and made it interesting, and people loved it, and people thought it was funny, and the writing was some of the best Telltale's ever done. Like, that's cool, but when people think Borderlands, they want to say, hey, I want to shoot this guy, I want to pick up this loot, I want to change out weapons like it's my job, you know. So I don't know, I just thought it was interesting that that was considered a failure internally, and that's really the only game they've ever said was a failure for them. So.
Again, I think it's just maybe because of that big difference between what the original Borderlands games are, and that is it just didn't cross over for a lot of those people.
Right. Yeah. Well, we've been going for like an hour and 5 minutes ish. Maybe we should wrap it up. We had some good discussions. We had
yes.
That Halo discussion was really good. I always enjoy talking about Halo. I don't know. I want to
pick up Halo 5.
Yeah, dude. If you picked up Halo 5, we could run through the story.
Yes, I need to, boss. I will do that.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I want to do that too.
Yeah,
I think next month I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna get the Games Pass, and then that way I have it. I could probably pick up Halo 5 the other day I was at a pawn shop and they were selling it for I think like $15 or $20.
Yeah,
that's usually... I might maybe just get it there if they still have it.
No GameStop or anything?
Well, we have GameStop and stuff like that, but I usually can find stuff for cheaper at that pawn shop, and they've got so much stuff that it's just like stacked to the ceiling.
Halo 5 on Amazon's $19.99 and used it's $15.99.
I would love to go garage sale hunting to find like weird games and go to the thrift store or Salvation Army and see what video game stuff I could find. I really want to do that.
Yeah, I usually, if I find places that are like that have like old antique stuff and things like that, usually you can find a little section where they'll have like old school games and stuff, and like that's where I got my POW and Russian Attack for NES. I got $5 a piece, and I think they're selling on eBay for like 10 or 9 plus a piece. So. I saved like $4 that way.
Nice.
But yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, I guess that's it. Thank you for watching this week's Arsenal X. Remember, you can find us every Wednesday at 10 a.m. on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Shout Engine. Right? Yeah. There's going to be some cool... I'll talk to you off air about this. So I'm going to try to do some cool things with the audio versions of our podcasts that, like, we've talked about. We talked about it a little bit last night, but anyway.
Yes.
Jesse, where are you?
Where can we find you?
The NGR community. You can add me on Facebook. I'm fine with it. You're an internet celebrity now. I'm gonna work on getting like some my. Well, I did post a while back my Xbox Live account name and stuff like that. I seen that post about like having a thing that you can basically paste up your information for people to find.
Yeah.
If we end up doing that, having that stuff, I'll put it up there. And otherwise, if you're in the community, you can just ask me and I can give it to you, or my friend code for Switch.
Yeah, that doc will be up in the Facebook group probably by the time you hear this episode. Like I said, we're recording this a little early this week, so if something happens between Sunday and Wednesday, guess we'll talk about it next week. But I got a lot of stuff to do on Tuesday, and that's on my list. So, anyways.
Yes.
Ed, go.
You guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode. You can hear my podcast, Optional Opinion, at SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play. I can't stand you, Corey Dirrig. SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, the Anonymous Radio Net.
Sorry, I'll stop.
And other podcast apps. You can check out Optional Opinion blog on IGN.com. Check out .com. You guys can watch my Let's Learn series on the Lyrical One on Twitch TV. Xbox, I am the Lyrical One. DALYRICAL. Guys, and I'm getting ready for the Beauty of Video Game. Our very own Corey Dirrig will be starring on the episodes for Optional Opinion, which you guys will be able to hear next month. And for our very own Jesse Douglas will be on Optional Opinion. We'll be talking about Spirited Away. And so you guys do check it out. And also, right on your calendar, October 6th for a very special Optional Opinion. Thank you guys.
Yay!
Yes.
Sorry. Got excited. All right. I guess it's my turn.
Also, check out NGR Radio and not NGR Radio. Nintendo Power Block.
No, check out NGR Radio.
Oh yeah, check out NGR Radio. I mean, they already know.
Don't tell them not to watch our shows.
Check out Nintendo Power Block. And Let's Pod and Play.
Yeah. Okay, I guess it's my turn now. Is it my turn, Ed? You got anything else?
Return cord.
What are you playing, Ed?
Nothing. Go, Wassel.
All right, you can find me at Corey Hudson in HD on Twitter, Corey in HD on Instagram and on Twitch, twitch.tv/Corey in HD. Excited to stream some stuff. You can find me in the NGR Radio Facebook group on Nintendo Power Block, NGR Radio. You can also find NGR on Twitter at NGR Radio Podcast. Like I said, there's going to be some cool things. I'm going to try to do some cool alterations. I think it's time to update some intros and some music, and if you're watching the video, to upgrade some video lookages. That's not even a word. I just made it up. I'm a wordsmith. That's what they call me. Right?
Okay.
That's what the rappers say. They say I'm a lyricist. I'm a wordsmith.
Rappers, we don't even know what the world they say. They could be reading the Cat in the Hat and we wouldn't know what they say.
That's probably true. You are probably right on the money. I don't listen to today's rap, so I could not tell you. Yeah, and you can find all of our shows on ngrradio.com, and there's some cool YouTube stuff coming, so stay tuned for that. Jesse, glad you were here again. Hope this is a regular. I'm not doing a third one because that 3XXX just means some bad things. So, Ed, I love you. Guys, thank you so much for watching Arsenal X, and until next week, we love you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.